On October the 28th, 2020, the Catholic Church of Côte d'Ivoire commemorated the 125th anniversary of the arrival of the first missionaries. So now, following the different stages, we will go from Bassam to Cote to discover this wonderful adventure. Before embarking on this journey in the footsteps of the pioneers, Father Pierre Trichet retraces for us the story of evangelization in the Ivory Coast. It is said that the evangelization of Côte d'Ivoire only began in 1895 with the SMA missionaries arriving here. But that is not true. Already in 1637 there were missionaries who had arrived in Côte d'Ivoire, but their stay there lasted only a few months. Unfortunately, they contracted disease and died, and so the venture ended. They were Breton Capuchins who came from Saint-Malo or Nantes. The second group to arrive were the Dominicans, and they went to Assigny in Côte d'Ivoire in 1687. At that time, there was a particular practice which was common also in Europe. The king of Assigny entrusted them with two young people to educate in France. One was called Aniba and the other Bonga. Aniba and Bonga went to France, and they were welcomed by Bossuigneux, who was to be their master catechist, and even Aniba had Louis XIV as a godfather. But they returned again to Africa, so it did not continue. Next we come to the 19th century. It was in 1840 that an American bishop arrived in Côte d'Ivoire with French missionaries from Saint-Cœur-de-Marie, a missionary congregation founded by Father Lieberman. Later in 1850, 51, 52, there were two missionaries in Grand Bassam where they opened a school. Their letters allow us to follow the school's progress, with 5 pupils, then 7. The school goes up to 10 and then down to 8, etc. They also tell us how they went to the villages to recruit boys for their school. They talked to the village chiefs, telling them that first of all they came to teach them how to live well. This is the religious part, let's say with the commandments of God, but also to teach their boys to read and write. A lot of village chiefs were sensitive to this suggestion and only entrusted the missionaries with 1 or 2 boys. Unfortunately, after a year, one of the missionaries fell ill. He was sent to Dakar in Senegal for treatment. During this time, the second priest also got sick and died. His name was Father Larrey. He was the first parish priest of Bassam. The parish at that time was called Saint-Jacques. In 1895, we come to a period that was started by the SMA. The SMA had people available, and so it continues to this day. October 2020, we commemorate the 125th anniversary of the 4th phase of evangelization led by the Fathers of the Society of African Missions. For Father Afik Ougra, each step during this period is a step for all Ivorian Christians to reflect on their missionary vocation. The history of evangelization in Côte d'Ivoire can be divided into 4 main dates. 28th of October 1895 was the beginning of the systematic mission made by the SMA Fathers. This date should be an opportunity for our church to reflect on the mission. The second big date, May the 1st, 1834, was the start of the local clergy that the founder of the SMA, Bishop Melchior de Marian Breziac, desired. He wanted his sons to do everything to train local priests. May it be a day dedicated to the priesthood, to priests, so that on this day priests also reflect on their mission. The third big date is September the 14th, 1955, which consecrates our autonomy. And the question is, are we really working to be autonomous? And on May the 8th, it is the consecration, I will say, the summit of the foundation of the clergy, with the episcopal ordination of the first bishop and archbishop of Côte d'Ivoire, Bishop Iago. This date is dedicated to the episcopate, to bishops. In the Ivory Coast today, this is an invitation to reflect on, are they really doing their job? With the pace thus fixed, let us begin our journey in the footsteps of the pioneers.